GP bike on rain, but at the moment seems a bit too much, let's say.
Fabio, I imagine the team and Ducati have so much experience in the wet, they just put a setting that they tell you will work. Do you have any input on how you want the setting, or you just trust them and go ride it?
Well, for sure we start from our base setup of the dry, and we do all the modifyings for the wet. But honestly, I don't have any feedbacks. Also, then said to me, go out and enjoy, because we don't know anything. So also for me, it will be my first time, and yeah, I'm waiting.
Fabio, thank you for your time. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scenes you didn't expect to see at 3:15 on race day Sunday at the Indonesian Grand Prix. The entire pit lane is giving this lady an audience here.
Well, to be honest, let's hope this works. Apparently this is a local rain ritual.
Desperate times and all that.
Banish away these clouds. Let's hope this lady's efforts pay off, because we all want to see a MotoGP race take place here in Indonesia.
Well, if the rain stops and we do get a race, she should get the 25 points, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. She should get a special award at the end of the season from the FIM and from Dorna. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we are going to get the race that we've all come here for, the first Grand Prix of Indonesia in 25 years. There you can see, though, at the bottom of your screens, the pit lane will not open before 15:45 local time.
The bigger issue we may have, in addition to the obvious issue, which is the quantity of rain that's falling, is the sunlight. It's due to get dark here around about 6:30, just before 6:30 local time. So we've got around 3 hours to play with before it starts to get dark here, and you just wouldn't be able to race even if it was bone dry. So we are going to get to the stage at some point where that does become a deciding factor. But of course, at the moment, still no reason to panic necessarily too yet. We've still got plenty of time for conditions to hopefully improve. And of course, with Moto3 and Moto2 having already raced earlier today, this is rather different to perhaps the scenario that might be coming to people's heads of Silverstone in 2018. We have only one more race to go. Marc Marquez was hoping to start it. And speaking to our colleagues at DAZN with Spanish TV, he's been speaking that he feels good, a little bit stunned, but he is okay. We saw Marc Marquez on his feet, and of course heading to the hospital via the air ambulance, but under his own steam, on his own 2 feet. And we of course hope to see Marc Marquez back in action in 2 weeks' time when we return to Tomás de Rio Hondo for the Argentinian Grand Prix, another circuit much like the race that follows that, the Circuit of the Americas, for the Grand Prix of the Americas, 2 circuits that Marc Marquez has had great success at in the past.
Yeah, good to hear. Marc did make his way back to the paddock, and he was able to talk to Spanish TV, as Lewis said. He was stunned. We've all been stunned by his crash-strewn weekend in here. That bruising crash in the warm-up session this morning at turn 7, when he was violently flicked a good 15 feet in the air. I mean, it was one of the worst crashes I've ever seen, and I've been around in this MotoGP paddock since 1996. The good news, of course, was that Marc was relatively okay. He was concussed. The bad news rolled out of this Indonesian Grand Prix, which at the moment, unfortunately, has not yet got going. We are waiting patiently, as is the entire pit lane, hoping and praying that we will get the race action underway as soon as we possibly can. There's Razlan Razli, of course, from the With You RNF team. We just saw there Darren Binder looking as relaxed and as cool and calm as ever. Nothing will faze for the South African at all. Lynn Jarvis there looking on as well. Will Fabio Quartararo get the chance to start from that pole position? The 1:31.067 that he set, just over 24 hours ago now, as yet another big bolt of lightning illuminates the sky out of our commentary box position here. And then again, there's another big clap of thunder. Unfortunately, the forecasts were absolutely spot on. When we walked into the media centre this morning around 7:30 a.m. local time, the first journalist that came up to me went, "Hey Matt, you do realise that there's going to be thunderstorms at about 3 o'clock this afternoon?" And I was trying to be as optimistic as I possibly could and said, "Hey, yeah, but we know how quickly the weather can change in this part of the world." Sadly, for once, that forecast was absolutely bang on the money. Let's pop back down to pit lane again and talk to Simon Craig, who I'm delighted to say he's grabbed the quick word with Aussie Jack Miller. Down to you, Simon.
Jack, you're famous for being able able to adapt quickly to changing conditions. Can you give us a bit of a run through how the weekend felt until now and what you're hoping for?
Yeah, the weekends felt all right. I mean, starting 9th on the grid definitely wasn't what I was after yesterday in qualifying, but that's where we are. And no, I mean, a lot of things have changed today. You know, we planned on the 27-lap race, but then that got knocked back, and then the rains come in, so that sort of changed our approach again. So, no, I mean, 27-lap race was going to be a big old survival race, I think, trying to manage the tyres and whatnot. 20 laps sort of brought it back into safe range, let's say, where you could be able to push a bit more. Now having wet, you know, this should stop pretty soon, and when it does stop, I'm assuming it's going to pull up pretty quickly. And yeah, the track won't dry completely, but I think some areas will become dry towards the end of the race. But no, fingers crossed it just stops now and we can get back underway.
Jack, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Mate, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Jack Miller, yeah, echoing the sentiments of all of us here in Indonesia. We do hope that we can get underway. If you are just tuning in, we have a delayed start. Fabio Quartararo is not obviously expecting any action soon. He's got back in his team clothing. Oh, dearie me. Terrible mistake. Was that his ice cream? Oh, dear. That's the first mistake Fabio Quartararo has made all weekend so far. That's a little bit of a red-faced moment for our pole man and our reigning world champion. Now, this lady is doing some sterling work now. She's been out on the grid. She is trying to banish away this rain. We sincerely hope it does work, as Fabio Quartararo makes his first mistake of the weekend, dropping his ice cream tub. Let's hope it's the only mistake he makes of the weekend as well. Nothing that the riders and the teams can do, of course. All they can do is wait patiently and hope that we do get a break in this torrential rain. Pre-race, it was looking very, very good for Ducati. They had 2 bikes on the front row. 4 bikes that qualified in the top 6, including round 1 winner, Enea Bastianini. We've already heard the thoughts of the Lenovo rider, Jack Miller. Let's pop back down to Simon, who's got sporting director Paolo Ciabatti with him. Down to you guys.
Yeah, I was just saying to Paolo, we've been talking a lot about conditions and that already. What I would love to hear from Paolo's point of view is your 8 very impressive Ducati riders, you know, some rookies, some very experienced. I'd love to hear your thoughts on each of them if you have time.
Yeah, sure. I think we have plenty of time. Let's hope the rain stops pretty soon and we can have a race today, because so many spectators and the president of Indonesia is here. So we must have a race, I think. What can I say? I think we were impressed positively by all the riders, obviously starting from Enea. You know, he did a fantastic job in Qatar. Riding impressively. It's his second season in MotoGP, but for sure to be able to qualify good and then to be so strong in the race and make no mistakes was amazing. Unfortunately, if we talk about Pecco and Jack, obviously Pecco had that crash. You know that we were trying a few things during the weekend, so probably our riders lost a little bit of confidence, so they couldn't really feel comfortable on the bike. And from Jack's side, unfortunately, he had an electronic problem, so our fault. Here, I think we saw that we had 7 riders in the top 12, and the 13th rider is another Ducati Bezzecchi. So, I mean, all of them super fast. If we go back to Bezzecchi and Marini, I think they showed here that they can do very good, especially Marco is impressive here. I think Luca was very good during the test, but also for him, being on a 22 bike, he lost a little bit of confidence in Qatar, but he's gaining it back here. And as for Di Gianantonio, wow, Q2. So Fabio is also a rookie, which is doing very good. And obviously the Martin Zarco, we don't have to say much because they have been so strong all over last year and they continue to be very, very strong here, starting from the first row. So I think we will have a wet race. I think it's probably in a way better for us because if they do a shortened race, 20 laps with Fabio Quartararo, I think it would be very difficult if he can get a good start because he had an impressive pace on dry conditions. This condition, I think, will help us a little bit more. And then we see, obviously, rainy condition always a kind of risk and gamble. But all our riders are very comfortable in these conditions. So looking forward to the race.
Paolo, through testing, winter testing, it looked like you had found a faster engine, and Ducati never stopped developing. We see that. It looked also that the riders lost a bit of confidence, as you said. I can imagine soon that bike will be better than the 21 bike, but have you found the direction now, do you believe?
Yes, as you know,